Hey my loves, welcome back. If you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup. I felt like I haven't actually sat down and did my makeup with you guys. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my makeup routine. This is my current makeup routine. This is what I've been doing for the past months now. And I'm going to be showing you guys the products I've been using. So this is going to be a step-by-step, in-depth makeup routine. I know a lot of you all compliment me on my makeup, and I want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. The first thing that I like to do is take a cotton pad, and I just like to remove some of the oil that is on my face. I take my micellar water and I just try to get some of that oil off of my face before I start with the application. So the first thing that I do is my eyebrows. I start off with my eyebrows. I always do my brows, so I just brush my brows up. And I'm going to show you guys what I do when I need my eyebrows done. So as you guys can see, I'm growing some hair right here. I could easily cut that off, but I'm going to show you guys what I do. I do have a eyebrow tutorial on my channel. I will leave that link down below. Because that's more of an in-depth video. So my favorite eyebrow pencil that I like to use is from Morphe. This is in the color Java. So all I do is just trace my brows the natural shape of my brow. I always start at the bottom and then I do the top part, and I just fill in as I go. Then when I get to the front, I just kind of do hair-like strokes. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know if I'm talking loud enough because I feel like I have a double ear infection and everything is muffled. So I need my ears to pop because I can't hear that well. The brush that I use to carve out my brows, been using this for years. It's the Wet n Wild small concealer brush. You can get it from any drugstore. I usually try to pick them up at Walgreens or something. They're only $1, but I think they went up, so I think they're $1 and some change. Concealer that I use to carve out my brows, I purchased this from my local beauty supply store. Actually, one of you all put me on to this, asked me have I tried it. I really like this concealer when I want my brows to be snatched. So I have the color Machiatto and then I have the color Tan. So what I do is I just put some on my hand and I mix the two. So this is the perfect concealer to carve out the brows because it has a thick but smooth consistency. So I love using this concealer when I want my brows to be snatched. If I'm not using this concealer, I'm most likely using the Kiss concealer, or I'm using the e.l.f. concealer, which you guys will see in a little bit. I always start farther away from my brows and then I bring it up and start carving it out. Like I said, I'm more detailed in my eyebrow tutorial video, and I just drag it down because we're most likely going to use that as primer for our eyes. You want to make sure you put the concealer farther away from the actual product on your brows because you don't want to wipe away so much. Like I told you guys, my eyebrows are growing back and I do need to get the razor and cut the loose hairs. But when that happens, what I do is I take the concealer and I just pat the concealer on top. I pat it, and what this does is it gives the illusion that I got my eyebrows waxed, and also it lays down those unwanted hairs that needs to be removed. I know people say don't use a light color on the top of your brows because to give that halo look. Listen, sometimes I don't have time to be putting different colors on my hand or switching to a different product. because half the time I be in a rush when I'm doing my makeup, so I just gotta make sure it's blended. Yeah, like some people don't like that halo look, but girl, just blend it, okay? I got time to be switching to no skin color concealer all the time. Like if you just blend it out right away and don't let it sit, you should be fine. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna cover it up with your foundation. So yeah, that's the brow. We're gonna go ahead and do the other one. Like you can't even tell I need to get my brows done. I'm just gonna take some of that concealer and just pat it down. I always take just a little bit more and just pat it on top. So that's my brows. So I don't do nothing crazy to my brows, as you guys can see. And I'm just gonna go in and blend it out. And you want to make sure you always blend out this part right here, because sometimes I find that concealer still be right here. We're gonna go back to our brows and we're not gonna leave them like that. I'm just gonna take the rest of that concealer and I'm going to make a blank canvas for my eyeshadow. So now we're going to go ahead and start on eyeshadow. So for me, when it comes to eyeshadow, I used to feel like I had to like do what all the girls would do. Like I had to do a cut crease, or I had to use this product, or do this, or use this palette. I learned that one too quick thank you ma'am kind of eyeshadow is for me, and it gets the job done. I love a nice soft glam eyeshadow look, whether I'm using color or neutral colors. Like those one too quick kind of looks, that's perfect for me. Now if I want to take my time and play, okay, but just doing my makeup period, oh, it's either 2 eyeshadows or 3, maybe 4. Don't ever feel like you got to do all those fancy looks or whatever. Like 1 eyeshadow can do the job all over your lid. Long as it's blended, it's to your liking, just put the eyeshadow on and go about your day. I'm gonna go ahead and play in my Widerness palette. I love this palette, and I'm gonna do the green color again. I think I did this before. I think one of you all asked me, I don't remember what colors I used, but I'm just gonna play around. But yeah, this is the Widerness palette from Beauty Bay. I'm gonna go in eucalyptus. I'm gonna take that. So this right here is gonna serve as my transition color. Now I would have used a different brush because this one is really fluffy, but your girl needs to clean her brushes, so we're gonna make it do what it do. So when I do my eyeshadow, I always start at the bottom. I don't start up here because we don't want so much product near the brow, and you kind of want that separation. So I always start right here. I tap it. It's all about where you place the product. So I place it right here and I like tap it and buff at the same time, and then I bring it up into my crease. You know what I mean? And like as you're diffusing the eyeshadow, it's going to naturally, you know, diffuse itself outward versus you placing the product here and then you gotta, you know, it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much going on. So it's already diffusing itself out when you're going in circles. So it's all about where you place the product. So I always think about starting down here first, or your outer V. Tap it, tap that product, and then take that product and swirl it around. And as you guys can see, it's diffusing itself. And you see, it's not that much product so close to your brows. We don't want it to look messy. You know what I mean? Now, some looks you can get away with the product being close to your brows or whatever, but sometimes you need that separation. So I'm gonna go to the other eye. I'm gonna place the product right here. Placing it right here. Placing it is me tapping it. Get a decent amount on your brush. So therefore you can have enough when you are bringing it towards the top part. And like I said, this is serving as my transition color. I want to do a video on like how to read a palette, like how to analyze it, like, you know what I mean? Like some people probably like get overwhelmed looking at certain eyeshadow palettes. Let me know if that's a video you guys would like for me to do. I don't know why that sounded weird. Let me know, and I probably do it anyway. And how you can create looks, and you know, and you can build this, like when you're doing this step, you can build the shadow up to your liking. But I'm probably gonna stop right here because I'm gonna make it deeper anyway. Make sure you're using the right brushes. Like I said, I probably would have used a smaller brush, but it's working out because I'm controlling the product and the brush. I'm making sure the eyeshadow is not flying everywhere, but make sure you're using the right brush when you're doing certain steps when it comes to your eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go in with the color Lime. I think it's Lime. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with this color. And so what I like to do is take the eyeshadow, whether it's a matte eyeshadow or a shimmer, metallic, or whatever, and I like to make sure I get like a flat brush, whatever brush I feel like that'll work. And I like to use the eyeshadow itself, and I like to use it to carve out my cut crease. Now, you know, when people do their cut crease, they use concealer. This is more of a softer approach. It's not as, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, precise. This is more on a softer approach, and this is when you get comfortable with your eye. You know where your crease is at. So I just like to take the tip of the brush and use the eyeshadow to cut my crease. So therefore I'm like doing a 2-in-1 kind of thing. Now I could have went in with a darker shade first on my outer V to bring that depth, but I want the darker shade to overlap my crease color, and I can go back and blend it, which I'll show you guys in a minute. You see how I like cut my crease without me having to use the concealer, because like makeup is already a process anyway. I don't want to keep adding extra steps, like, then therefore I would have had to find another brush that's not clean and and cut my crease. I ain't got time. And I'll just do a little wiggle motion right here just to help me start off making that crease. This color is so pigmented, like it is crazy. I'm gonna take the color Ivy. It's a dark, like emerald kind of green, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna tap that on the outer part. I'm gonna tap and like flick it as well, flick it inward. I definitely would have used a different brush. I need to clean my brushes. That's the problem. But that's what we got to use. And I'm gonna bring it in my crease a tad bit. And I'm just using the tip of the brush. to blend all of that. I'm really not using the whole entire brush, just the tip. And just flicking it in, making sure I'm diffusing. I'm flicking and tapping, flicking and tapping. This sounds so it don't sound appropriate, but we gonna keep rolling. I just love green eyeshadow. All right, and now I'm gonna go in this color. This is called Leaf, and I'm gonna use Leaf to blend out and diffuse the edges. So if you ever feel that your eyeshadow is harsh, you can always take another shade, like a transition shade or something. Always take it and diffuse the eyeshadow in. It also brings more color to the look. And this is what I call the peekaboo shade. Just taking a clean brush and just blending everything. And that's how I do my eyeshadow. So we're going to come back to the eyes in a little bit. I want to start on my face. So the primers that I've been using has been the Becca Ever Matte Poreless primer, and I've been mixing it with the Power Grip primer from e.l.f. Now, I've been using a lot of this, but at first I didn't like this. I'm like, what is the big deal? But I like it now. It's cool. I would repurchase it. So I just put it on my face like that. So this is the primer I've been using. And then I will go in with the Becca primer. I know it's not available anymore. I'm sorry, but use any mattifying primer to your liking. I like this combination because this is tacky and this is mattifying. And so I feel like this is a good combination for oily skin, at least on me. So what I do is I just put the Becca where I get like oily, and sometimes with mattifying primers, like if you like rub it in or pat it in, it'll like cling onto your skin. So what I like doing is, I used to do this all the time and I started back doing this. I will take the butt part and I will blend out the primer like that. And this is not wet or anything. I would rather use it dry when doing this. Take the leftover and just spread it. So yeah, I mean it's doing the same thing, like as if it was so white. It's doing the same thing as if I was to push it in my skin with my fingers. So that's what I'm doing with the beauty blender. I'm just pushing it in with the beauty sponge, just the butt part. So yeah, if you find that your primer is rolling up on you, just try to use a dry beauty sponge. So for the foundation that I've been loving the Dior Backstage foundation. This is in the color 5N. So I do have some thoughts on this foundation though, but other than that, I love it. And I like to use a dome shape brush with this foundation. This is the Sephora 88 brush. Okay, so far as concealers, I've been using these two combinations. This is my favorite combination right now, the e.l.f. concealer. This is the matte finish. I think this is deep chestnut, and I've been mixing it with the Kiss concealer from the beauty supply store. This is in the color Classic Tan. I've used several shades in this Kiss concealer, and y'all, this is so good. Like, if you don't have time to go to the drugstore and get the e.l.f. concealer, this is just as good. Perfect. So basically I just you know, put my concealer, you know, under my eye like so, and I mix a little bit of the Classic Tan. Classic Tan is a little of course is lighter than me, so I just use this as a highlighter. So instead of me using a sponge to blend out my concealer, I've been using, I know it's dirty because I've been using it, but I've been using my powder puff to blend out my concealer, and I actually been liking the results. And I always just kind of drag my concealer down to my upper lip for whatever reason. It blends it out really well. I still go in with a sponge and just, you know, kind of clean it up a little bit, but I don't wet it or anything. I just, you know, go in. You know, this is what they used before those sponges came out. That and a wedge, a disposable makeup wedge, and I just been loving. And I just go in with a beauty blender and just kind of get in that corner. Like I said, you can use a smaller tool if you need to. And I always go in with my foundation brush and I clean up those edges. I always go in and clean up the edges, so you can see a clear difference. So to set my under eye, I'm going to use my black Radiance powder, and this is in the color Honeymoon, and I'm just going to take my puff, a nice amount, and I take some and put it on the back of my hand just to take the excess off. I just set under my eyes. My favorite powder, Fenty Beauty powder in 410. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. Yeah, I like to go down my neck. Okay. So yeah, I like to just dust it. If you want more of a mattifying look, you can use a flat top brush, but I just like to go in with a fluffy brush. Now it's time to bronze the face. I'm going to use Hard Candy Instant Bronzer, the Instant Summer Bronzer in the color Cocoa. Love this bronzer. Love it. Then for blush, I tried this blush the other, well, this is actually, I guess it's like a little, I don't know, child, but I found this at Didi's discount, and I used it the other day and I actually like it, so I'm gonna mix these two together. These two, it's a pretty color. I found it at Didi's discount a while ago. See how pretty it is? So now we're going to go back to the eyes. I'm going to use my e.l.f. eyeliner. I've been using this for years, and it is still going strong. Like, it will not run out. And I have several black eyeliners. I don't use them. This is the only one I use. This is the only one that works. Oh my god, like it works so good, and I like it because it's retractable. I don't have to worry about sharpening this eyeliner. It's dark, like I love it. I always put black because I like the way it looks. So I'm gonna go back in the palette and I'm gonna go back and add this dark green. I'm gonna take a little bit of this eucalyptus green and just blend it out. I'm gonna take the lighter green and add it underneath as well. When I do my eyebrows, some people will be like, they'd be a little scared, like, or if I do other people's eyebrows, they'd be like, can you blend that out a little bit more? In my mind, like, I'm gonna come back to your brows. Like, I gotta move on to the next step. That's just how I do makeup. I can't stay on one area for too long. You know what I mean? So don't be frightened. I know what I'm doing. When it comes to like the process that works for me. Not saying like I'm a professional or anything, but just I know what I'm doing when it comes to my process. So some people get a little worried, like, it's okay. So that's what works for me, because I don't want to blend it out too early, the brows. Like, why would I leave your brows looking like a piece of tape, piece of black tape at that? Like, no ma'am. I just take my fingers and a combination of the brush that I use for my foundation and a beauty blender. You guys just see me. And if I took off too much, I would go in and, you know, fix it up. All right, so I love eyelashes, but it's just I just don't want to put it on. Okay, so I wouldn't mind putting them on right now, but I ran out of my Kiss eyeliner glue. I love that stuff. It's in my empties. Oh my god, I gotta repurchase that. It's so good. I love it. First I was like, ugh, this is stupid, but I fell in love with it because it's so quick and easy. So I gotta repurchase that, and it was just on sale too, so I should have got it. The 3D Silk Cherry Blossom number 921 eyelash glue that I'm using. Don't care for it, but this is from Kiss. Oh, I got some new eyelash glue. I forgot. I bought this. I don't wait until my lashes get tacky because I don't have time. I let them get tacky on my lid. I might blow it a little bit, but some people be putting glue on their lashes, then they put it down and they do something else for like another 10 minutes. Like, girl, if you don't put that lash on, I can't do that because it won't stick. I always use a tweezer to put on my lash. Like, I could do it without, but I refuse to. And y'all probably like, Brianna, you should let it get tacky so it won't move around. I like to feel it. I like to feel the glue. I just tried the tacky route. I can't. I like to go in and put my moles back. Yeah, I like to put my moles back whenever I can find them. As far as my lips, it's whatever kind of gloss I feel like wearing, but I've been wearing the Essence Clear Gloss like crazy lately. But I think I'm just gonna go in with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. And I always wipe my lips with a wipe before I apply any product, because I got foundation and powder and, you know, any type of fallout on my lips. I don't want to disturb the color. I'm going to go in and spray my face. I've been using the Morphe setting spray, but this was there, so I just grabbed it. And I'm almost done with this too. Final look, that's pretty much how I do my makeup. I basically just wanted to show you all the steps on how I do my makeup, and then I just created a look at the same time. I think I wore this eyeshadow look or something similar in one of my videos. So but yeah, those are the products and stuff that I use, and yeah, this is the look. That's how it turned out. This gloss is glossy, like when you build it up. Okay, gummy bear. OMG. And my eyeshadow matches my shirt. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing if you like what you see on my channel. If you're just stopping by, that is fine as well. And I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye.